All right, consider this statement. Statement A, Pete brought donuts to class today, and Jenny brought beef jerky to class today. Okay? Now, if somebody says this statement, and Pete really did bring donuts to class today, and Jenny really did bring beef jerky to class today, then is statement A a true statement or a false statement? Did you say true? Yes. All right. So let's visually represent what's going on here. We'll make P represent the statement Pete brought donuts to class today. J will represent the statement Jenny brought beef jerky to class today. And we can see that this original statement up here has the word and in it. This is a conjunction. In other words, this is a dot type of statement. And we can see here that on line 1, it is true that Pete brought the donuts, and it's true that Jenny brought the beef jerky. And what you said, I heard you, you said, well, yeah, if he really brought the donuts and she really bought the beef jerky, then this entire statement is true. But let's say this. Let's say it's a different day. And we still have the same statement being made here. Pete brought donuts to class today, and Jenny brought beef jerky to class today. And we look over, and it's true that Pete brought donuts to class today, but Jenny's sitting there empty-handed and saying, it is not the case. It is false that I brought beef jerky to class today. In that case, is this statement true or false? Is it true that Pete brought donuts to class today and Jenny brought beef jerky to class today if Jenny didn't bring the beef jerky? And we'd say, well, no. In that case, even though it's true that Pete brought the donuts, it's false that they both did these things. And that's what the original statement claims. It says 2 things occurred, donuts and beef jerky, but one of those didn't actually occur. And that means the whole sentence that says both of them occurred is a false sentence. Now, what about this? We have the same statement about Pete bringing donuts and Jenny bringing beef jerky to class today, but this time, Pete failed to bring the donuts. Jenny brought the beef jerky, so that's true. Okay, but it's false that Pete brought donuts to class today. In that case, is this statement A a true or a false statement? And again, we'd say, well, it's false. Okay, what about this? Pete didn't bring the donuts and Jenny didn't bring the beef jerky. And yet somebody stands up and says, hey, Pete brought donuts to class today and Jenny brought beef jerky to class today. And we look and say, are you nuts? What you just said is totally false. Totally false. In other words, the entire sentence is false. It's false that Pete brought donuts, and it's false that Jenny brought beef jerky. And in that situation, this entire statement is false. Now, do you notice a pattern here? Okay, this is the total number of possibilities. Either Pete brought the donuts and Jenny brought the beef jerky, or some combination of them, one or both not doing those things. Okay, so we have all of the possible worlds organized on these 4 lines. These are the 4 possible ways reality could be structured in any given moment. And what we notice is that the only way for this entire statement, P.J, represented by statement A here, the only way that that statement is true is when the statements that appear on both sides of the dot are true. Anytime one or both of the statements on either side of the dot is false, the entire thing is false. And what we might say is this, is that the truth value of dot is a function of P and J, right? This is why we're calling this truth functional logic. Whether or not the entire statement is true is going to depend on the truth values of the component parts of the statement. And what you're seeing here is that the only way for a dot to be true is for the statements on both sides of the dot to be true statements. And this is the rule of conjunction, or the rules of dot. And we can see here 4 possibilities, and there's only one arrangement where a conjunction statement, a dot statement, is true. And that's when what appears on both sides of the dot are true.